delighted to host you here on Women at the Frontlines Women Rise program this afternoon. Thank you for giving us your support, for supporting us in growing this space. And in this space, we host women who are shining, who are doing quite, outstanding things in their communities, leading. As you know, women are at the front line in every sector of society. And today, I have an outstanding leader in the community of vendors, doing quite a lot, Madam Molly Wambi. And we want to have a chat, a conversation on the leadership they are providing in settling vendors here in Kampala, and also just to a little bit on touch onto the challenges that vendors have in a sector that is full of challenges and full of many issues, and she'll be taking us through that. Molly, you're welcome, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, moderator.
Yes.
I'm Wambi Molly, a street vendor from Kawempe. The treasurer of Kawempe Women Vendors Cooperative Society. It's a cooperative
you
of
even
women.
Have a cooperative.
Yes. And I'm the secretary for gender in the Federation of Kampala Hawkers and Vendors Association.
It's now a federation.
Yes.
Meaning that you are actually going to become part of the workers' union, or are you already in the union?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes. I'm from Buyukwe, Nyenga. I grew up there. When I finished my studies in Senior 4, I came to Kampala.
To look for greener pastures.
Yes. So I started my struggle. When I reached Kampala, life was so challenging. I had to get someone to stay with. So when I was at home, it was terrible because there was nothing. My man was a border man. He used to struggle. He could bring something, but it was too little.
It was not enough for the family.
So in 2017, I decided to start looking for green pastures. So I started with 50,000. Yes.
Wow.
I started buying mangoes and selling them at Kawempe, Kutano. So that's when I started vending in Kampala.
Wow. Thank you so much. And I see the confidence that you have. This must be a great woman. Yes, confident in the things that you are doing. And doing much more that we do, we see, because you were featured on the New Vision of last week. And from the level where you are standing to be featured in New Vision, it takes a lot. Somebody must have done a lot for you to appear in the newspaper. So I'm very proud of you. Thank you for the work that you're doing.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So when I started vending, I was chosen to be among the leaders of street vendors, the women in Kawempe. Through SIHA network, we were mentored. We were taught how to run cooperatives. From there, we were introduced to the world.
Into the world.
Yes.
Savings and many other things.
We do
financial literacy.
Yes. Leadership. That's why I'm here.
Yes.
I've been built in a great leadership.
Absolutely, and the sky is not even the limit for you. You can end up in parliament even.
And I'm dreaming of
or in
that.
the council of the district, Kawempe district local government.
That's what I'm hoping 2026. Yes.
That's great. That's a great ambition. Yes, as you improve on other areas, the education, and all those things, you get there. Yeah. So how did this? Why did you end up in that sector, rather than continuing with your education in the first place?
I lost my parents, so I never went far
in education.
Yes. And I decided to join vending because it was cheaper.
Easier to start.
Yes.
Mm.
I had little money and I had challenges. And that 50 I borrowed
From someone?
From a friend of mine.
Mm.
So when that woman borrowed me that 50, I went to the market.
And bought?
And bought mangoes. I started selling.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't easy.
It cannot be.
Because the moment I started selling, the man was saying, hey, you buy this, you're working. It challenged me. You
contribute.
Buy this.
Yes.
Yes, contribute.
Mm.
When time came for paying the rent,
where is your contribution?
Contribute. So I could contribute, though it was little. I had challenges on the street. I was running back and forth.
First, walk us through the day of a vendor. How does it look like when you wake up at 5 o'clock? How does your day look like as a vendor in Kampala?
When I wake up, I first run to the market and buy my merchandise. I come back home. I take my kids to school. After coming back from school, I clean my house, I prepare my food. So from there, I
go to the market. Go to
work.
To
the street.
Yes.
I start vending. The struggles are there. After there, I go back home. Again, I prepare
food. You take on the maternal roles or, household chores.
Yes. That unpaid care work.
Unpaid care work. Right. You've corrected me well.
I struggle with that in the evening.
Yes.
That's how my day goes.
On a normal day, that is like work for 3 people. Because ideally, if you went to work, because you're working, another person should be handling other roles at home. But you combine all that and in one person. That's a lot of work.
It's too much.
Yes. So yeah, so like how many, when you look at this, the vending sector and of course the things that you face on a daily basis, we know that women have different challenges, men have different challenges as vendors. Because we see you running, police chasing after you all the time. City council. How is your experience as a vendor? What are the challenges you people face? And what would you like to see government do in that area?
The challenges are too many. Because when you are on the street, it's like some people bought land on the roads. Because from here to there, so and so gets money from that place. From there to there, when you don't pay that amount, they take you. They take the merchandise. They take you.
The owners of the land?
No, those people from the KCC.
Okay.
Those enforcement men.
Enforcement officers.
Yes. When they come for the money, you don't pay. They take the merchandise.
They take the merchandise.
When you pay, you work.
You work. Is that money taken for government or it is just this backdoor monies?
It's for theirs. It's not for the government. And the government doesn't know us because they say always that we work.
You are doing illegally. You are working illegally,
so
right?
So they don't report that money. It's theirs. When we come to the other side of men, it is so challenging because when they see you on the street, they see you as a failure. So when they need to harass you sexually, they come because you are vulnerable.
You're vulnerable. They see you as a public, person, asset or something.
So women face sexual harassment
at
the street. And they have nowhere to report. Women lack information. They need sensitization. Because when someone comes and touches you, some women don't react because they fear. They say, where
shall I even report it to?
They fear that. So for me, what I would like the government to do, let those laws pass and put into actions. Because when I heard there was sexual offences bill. I don't know where it ended, and I need to know where it is, because these women need to know that the moment someone touches you, those bad touches, you have somewhere to report, and you'll be attended to, because people are there in a miserable life.
You know, Molly, our community thinks that a woman should be touched and violated in any way, and nobody should report it, that kind of thing, because they think it is normal, it is something that is, you know, acceptable in society. And that's why we had come up with that bill, or that law that you are asking about. I didn't know that you are one of the supporters of the bill. I am the one who moved that bill while we were in Parliament.
Oh,
yes,
Ananga,
because
I'm
of such
glad.
women like yourself and us and many other women.
Yes.
Women face a lot of sexual violence. Even those that don't speak out, even in the public offices we are belonging to, many. It is a very perverse problem. And I'm glad you raise it. And for you people who are in the street, it's even worse, because then, I mean, it's the normal thing that happens to women on the streets all the time.
Yes. And what I need to see is engaging these men, because there are some NGOs who come and train women and give them information on on their rights, and they don't engage men.
They don't engage men on the rights.
They don't engage men, and those men are the perpetrators.
They are the perpetrators. Yes.
So I need to see these men being engaged
as much as women are engaged.
Yes.
That's a fundamental point.
And I think we shall reduce on the violence.
Men need to be taught that a woman's body is holy. It is inviolable. When you touch any part of my body, I should be able to give you permission to do that. And that can only be given to the person who has a right to do so. That is your partner. But it happens everywhere. And when society is teaching, they are teaching women, as you say.
Only.
Women do this. Women, protect yourself. Women, don't go out at night. Women.
But those perpetrators
are not being reached. Tomorrow they do the same thing.
Yes.
You're right. Yes.
And there was an incident at Kalere. There was a girl who serves food. She took food to someone. So it started raining. It was in Lufla.
Can you imagine?
So when she entered there, it was too much outside. So she stayed inside. The man
grabbed her.
No, the man came and stood on her way. So the girl was, let me pass. The man refused. You see, you're so wet. The girl said, Dad, do you think that I don't know that I'm wet? The man said, who can love you? You're ugly. You look. The man abused the girl. The girl came back when she was crying. So I asked her what has happened. She narrated the story. So I told her, let's go there. The moment we reached there, and the man saw me, I introduced myself and told him that, you man, I'm Wambi Molly, and a V of FIDA Uganda.
Yes.
I've come to know what has happened. The moment the man heard of FIDA Uganda, the man knelt down
and said, forgive me. I will never do this again.
And the girl forgave the man, but the girl was
traumatized.
Yes, she never came back.
To that place.
Yes.
She had to change location. Of course.
She went away. So those are the people we need to engage.
You're right.
So that they get to know. Yes.
And it's good to hear your story, because you see, a lot of times you're on these places, we are talking, and the women are, as we talk, they're saying, those are the women who are exposed, they have everything. Why can't they bring these women at the lower level? They call it at the grassroots. We want to hear from those women. You're such a kind of woman we are hearing from at that level, who is doing a lot, commendable job in terms of promoting the rights of women and also providing leadership, because we can't reach everywhere. For us who call ourselves activists for women and all that, and leaders, and so you are our torch bearer there. Yeah, so that is good work. That's good work. So you raise a very important point: education of men as well.
Yes, men need to to get to know the rights of women. And you see, those women who are working, those women on the grassroots, they face a lot of challenges because men impregnate them and they take off. So we have a lot of challenges, and we get
so many cases
every day. The man has run away. The man doesn't pay school fees. The man does this.
Provide.
Yes. So we have a lot of challenges over there.
And community needs to be sensitized.
Yes.
Yes. And
those men, they
you men need to take care of your families.
Yes.
And provide and be responsible. Yeah, women have cried a lot all this time and all these years, Yes.
And you see, one day when I was at home, I told my husband that, you start paying me salary.
For the work that I do.
Salary for what? That I work at home. After working home, I go to my place of work. I also work
and come back.
When we come back, you sit in the
chair and watch TV.
For me, I struggle with
you go back to the kitchen.
So he told me, do you know what? You can't work. I stay home.
I take care of the home.
So which means he's not able to pay me.
Did he try one day to take care of the home while you are working?
He cannot.
When we talk about unpaid care, men don't understand what we are talking about. We are talking about the things that women do to keep the family up, standing. The cleaning, the washing, the cooking, the ironing. What else?
And
the hygiene,
yes,
taking care of children.
You wash, you iron, you wash the utensils, you cook. Yes.
All that is unpaid. And when you find houses where there are house helps, we call them maids, they take care of that work. So, and that is a paid care. Paid. If you pay for a house help, you're paying. But when there is no house help in a house, in the majority of the houses in Uganda, there are no house helps. So the women in those houses do the work, but also do other works to bring money into the income, into the family. So you're very, very right. Yeah. So how did it go with the payment? With the big man in the family?
He refused to pay.
Molly, yes.
He refused to pay. But you see, those men, the moment you are exposed and you are recognized by the public, those men, they feel bad.
They begin to fear you.
Those people, they make you to be big-headed.
They're spoiling you.
Yes.
You're listening to wrong counsel. You're doing all this.
That's what they say. And for him, he looks like this woman.
Because you have gone to certain levels. But he is now beginning to reap the benefits. You see now, when you're exposed and you are working and doing all sorts of things, you're bringing income to the family. Now the men begin to note the difference. Because automatically a woman who is working, who is earning, who is educated, there's a difference in the home. And they begin to notice that you're taking charge of the family in various ways. I'm sure in your home as well that is happening.
Before, he used to do everything. We have no this, we have no this, we have no this, we have... He was the one to cater for everything.
Yes.
But nowadays, when there is something missing, I provide. He provides another one. So there is a bit of change.
A bit of change. The value of empowerment, of empowering a woman. Yes. You look so empowered and so beautiful yourself. So there is a lot. So I would like you to talk a little more on your leadership as a leader of vendors now, because that's why we are here on this program. But we're just trying to understand the kind of person you are, the environment you are in. What are you doing? What are you doing in terms of transforming the lives of fellow vendors in your community?
For my women, or in our group?
In your group, for the women, for the wider community of the vending community.
For the women, we've started craft making so that these people do not depend on
one
vending
source
only.
Wow.
Because when today they take your merchandise, you have your like for me, I sell mangoes, but nowadays I'm a bit tight. Someone calls me, hey, you bring this and this, I take. But staying on the street nowadays is so difficult because I'm in too many things. When we are there in our group, we do crafts, we sell them, and people get money, we do save. So this saving has helped so many people because sometime back, 2 years back, we are in a lockdown. That saving
helped so many people to survive.
So many people.
That's the time they withdrew it and spent
all of it.
Because
it was the period was too
long.
Yes.
There was no money to survive.
Yes.
That's the beauty of saving.
So that saving, we don't regret of saving. Yes, it helped us so much. And we've taught our women leadership, because when we go to some NGOs and they teach us, we go back to our women,
your own community as well. Yeah,
we teach them. We have people we have a counselor who came and stood for the counselorship in Kawempe. So we hope to have many as possible, because we are mentored, and
you also go back and mentor others. Wow,
yes.
That's the point you're making.
Then our women, in terms of violence against them, those women are not so easy, because when sometime back, those women were used to be beaten by
and they would get used to that, you know, they take it like it's normal.
Yes, it's normal. But nowadays they know that when someone beats you, it's the violation of your rights. So they stand against everything. They stand against every violation against them. Yes.
You have sensitized the community, actually. You have empowered them. You have given them information, knowledge about their rights. Now they know what it means, you know, and they also know where to go and get help. So you've directed them to the points like FIDA, which other places are working in the community.
Because they know that when someone beats me, when I've not yet undressed, I just run to police. They tell me, go for the medical
checkup.
Yes.
The processes.
They know the processes and procedures.
You've sensitized them on the processes, the procedures. Wow, that is wonderful. That is great work that you're doing. And of course, giving back to community and empowering them in that way. What about the challenges on the streets themselves? What are you doing about them? How are you organizing? Because you already said you are now organized under a federation.
Yes.
What are those benefits now which you are going to get out of that?
As leaders of street vendors and hawkers, we managed to lob a piece of land in Tusenyi.
You got land?
Yes, President gave us land.
Yay! So it is real. Sometimes we see on newspaper, I mean radio, I mean TV and newspapers, and we think that it's politics. No, so the land is there?
The land is there, former Nabagereka Primary School.
Okay.
It's where we have our market. And we have another piece of land where we constructed a market in Kalere, near Lufla.
Okay.
Yes. So we've managed to put there our people, the vendors and hawkers. They are there seated and they are operating their work.
Oh, so you have resettled them.
Yes.
You have resettled them to the market.
Places.
So they cease to be vendors. If you have removed them from the streets, they are now market vendors. They are now called market vendors. That's great leadership, Molly. Hey, how the Baganda would say, at your level, you are able to convince the president and his teams that give us land. We want to settle in this place.
You see, people look at us as people who are failure, but we've managed. In January 2022, vendors and hawkers were evicted from the streets. So we start with those people. don't riot, because people were very, very tough. We've been in lockdown, now we are
keeping us indoors, you're chasing us off the streets.
People are very tough. So we talked to our people, because we are in groups.
Okay.
Federation has 47 associations
in Kampala.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a big number of people. It's a big community.
Yes. So we could sit with the leaders, we could meet those people. Don't riot, let's struggle and see what we shall do next. So we used to move with papers. We used to walk, because we had no money, we could vote. Finally, we got what we wanted. The place is there, people are operating.
Already?
Yes, and I had president saying that we shall have markets in every division. For those people
to settle.
Yes.
That's great work. And you know, when we are following those things, sometimes we feel, well, we see that the vendors are being mistreated here and there, but when the town was cleared of the vendors, there's a lot of breathing space. When you go to downtown there, you see the difference. You can walk freely and also enjoy shopping normally. But before that, the streets were all occupied by vendors on every side. Even walking was a problem. So I commend you for that work. And of course, now as people who go to downtown for shopping, you see the difference.
There is a difference.
There's a difference.
During that time, the streets were full. And we vendors, we like occupying the pavements.
The pavements, yes.
And for the pedestrians, they have nowhere to pass.
Nowhere to pass.
The moment they shout at you.
Yes.
So nowadays it's a bit good. Though they are there,
they are still
you
there.
cannot finish them at once.
Yes.
So we are struggling, we are sensitizing them, because you tell them the benefits of going to the market.
Yes.
Because we were trying to see how these people are helped, because other sectors were helped by the government. When we were from the lockdown, the musicians, they got something.
Some money.
They got a relief fund.
Yes.
But for the vendors, there was nothing.
The saloonists,
so,
the bar, bar owners.
Yes.
All the people were closed.
When we were trying to lob for that relief fund, they told us, we cannot give you money when you are on the streets. The moment you buy your merchandise, they cancel tax. So what will happen next? So they told us, we have to look for somewhere these people can settle. And we give relief fund, and we are demanding for the relief fund. We've not yet got it, but we are hoping.
Wow.
Yes, we are hoping to get.
That's great work. Being able to resettle 47 associations under the federation. And being able to lobby the head of state to be able to find you people places of settlement and working with the government policy to clear the streets of the vendors. That's a commendable job. And as a leader in that federation, in those associations, that's directly accredited to your leadership, Molly. So you are doing so much, probably so much than someone who is in council or even someone who is in parliament. Yes, that's leadership, and we commend you for that. So of course, you've talked about Kalerwe, you've talked about which other one, those markets?
It's Nabagereka.
Are they full already?
Not yet. There are some spaces.
For more people?
Yes.
So you want to encourage those ones also to go the other side?
Yes.
There is no hope of, what about this saga of Nachivugo? I don't know, they want to clear. Then they say they are putting vendors there, then another day, so many things.
Before giving us Nabagereka, they had recommended us to go to Nachivo settlement. So there were some
battles.
Yes. So the president decided, these people should go to Nabagereka
primary school. Yes, so now there's a market there.
It's a big market.
I know, because then people follow where the market is. If they see a market somewhere, people will come to the market. The fear vendors have is that people will not come. There's no business here. We want to be in the city center. And
and my cry to the government or to the KCC, because these people surrendered and went to the markets. my appeal to the KCC, let them take off the street vendors who are still on the streets, because the moment these people are still on the streets, the customers won't go to the market. So we need to work hand in hand with those people. For us, we sensitize them and let them take them off, because we need the streets when they are good. You see, before the eviction, the thugs were always moving around. They take your bags, they take your
But
phones.
now it's very hard.
Yes, because the people are little on the streets. Everyone is moving. So we need to see Kampala when it's smart.
Better. Better. Wow.
And my appeal to the executive director of KCCA, Madam Dorothy Chisaka, there are some law, the enforcement officers who make these vendors to resettle on the streets, because they get something from them. So they are against the orders of the president that you put
settle
these
down.
People, yes. So let her make follow-up of that.
Wow, wow. You have done a good job. And working together with the leadership of KCCA and organizing your teams to accept that government directives, I think this is good. This is working. And as the citizens or as the people, town dwellers here in Kampala, we see the difference. We see the difference downtown because of that. Because previously, somebody would dread going to the market. When you have to go to downtown, it would be a big problem. You would have to think twice before you go. So I want to commend you for that. You were talking about a call that you want to make in terms of things that you're asking for from government, or policy issues, or things that need to be done. First, you talked about the relief fund, and now you are asking for, you know, also the work with the enforcement officers so that they can sieve them who are those, or follow up how they also doing their work and encouraging these things. What else could we bring out at this point in this program? Some of the issues that are unresolved that you want KCCA to handle, or the government?
So in so being that we are from the streets going to the markets.
Yes.
Those markets have a lot of challenges also, because when we meet with our fellow people in the markets, nearby markets, they say that there is a lot of taxation in the market. So let the government work on that, because we don't want to go back. We don't need to go back to the streets, because we are used to that life of street vending. So let the program in the markets be favorable
for the
vendors to stay
the taxation
there. Yes,
the taxation
there is a lot of taxation, and we are missing the daycare centers for the children. And yesterday I managed to attend a meeting of people. They call themselves that ASE. It is ACE. They are on the research on the daycare centers.
Yes.
They gave the women a period of 8 months, helping them on their children, but it was not favorable, because they told us that they came to our market and told us that we shall have these people a daycare center in your market, and they put there their children. So when we went there yesterday in the meeting, it was in Bivamuntu market at Kalere. It was a different story, that they were saying we got 400 women with their kids. So we managed to get 370 who are qualified. In the 379 who are qualified, we managed to get 208. Those are the people whom we are going to help.
Support.
Yes.
What about the rest?
What about the rest? And besides that, they were saying that these 208, they are going to make ballot papers so that
they pick. So the service is not enough.
So what I saw that the services are not enough.
Yeah.
And I asked them, whom did you work with? Because they were claiming that we went to KCC. They told me, we went to Madam Chisaka. I said, Madam Chisaka cannot do that. Because they need to come up with a clear
direction.
program. Yes. How are we going to manage these children in the markets? Because they chase the children in the markets. A mother cannot stay in the market
with the children.
With the children. And they cannot stay with the market when their children are not safe. They need those children to be in a safe
space.
Yes. So it's also my cry to the KCCA, because it's the one taking the market. Is it, how do they call it?
The tenders,
yes,
or something.
Yes,
of
the tenders of the markets. Let them take care of those children.
That's a very important issue you are raising, and we had been advocating for as your leaders at national level. We had been advocating to have, you know, safe spaces for mothers in working environment, because the market is a work environment, and all workspaces in Uganda should have some safe space where a mother with a, you know, nursing mother, a minor, can bring that child who is not yet due for school. So you make a very important point. Yes. And what I'm doing, I'm smiling and happy seeing you speaking these things. So you can actually represent yourself, because they challenge us that get the women to speak for themselves. You must always allow women to speak for themselves, and this is what you are doing. And the issues are so real, and we can touch and feel them for those who are, you know, watching and listening. Yes, yeah. So where do we see you in the future? What are the plans? Because the way I look at you, my God, my God, my God, a lot of potential in you. And already in this short time, from the space that you are in, you have been able to change a lot, in your life, but also for other women. You are changing many things, changing the narratives of other women. So where would you like to go in the next 10 years, 20 years?
I need to be in a space where I can fight for my fellow women's rights. Yes. And I need to have a space on a decision-making table.
And which one is that one?
The parliament.
I like that.
I need to be the parliament.
Yes.
A market vendor. From street vending to market vending to parliament.
Do you know there is one who is now a councillor? She was a vendor in Nakawa.
Yes, Achiro Florence.
Achiro Florence.
Yeah.
She's now in the council.
Yes.
So next is parliament, if she works well.
That's what we need.
Yeah. It's possible.
And it's my dream, and I need to fulfill it, because we are not represented. We are always this way down. We tell people, Bananges, such and such things disturb us, and we have challenges.
And no one listens.
No one.
No, but you have done a good job. Now you're speaking for yourselves. And already with those changes, like I told you, we don't believe that. Sometimes when government says we are relocating vendors, we don't believe the land is even there sometimes. But you have given us a confirmation that it is there. We are settling vendors, and a lot is going on. And you're still doing much more, which is good. Yeah.
And there is another, but the cases has not yet finished with it. It's in Chibuye.
Another market.
Yes, we hope when they are done with it, we shall relocate other vendors too.
To the site. That's why it's important to have someone speaking for their own issues, because you'll be assuming, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on which you're doing. Yeah, so I'm glad you were able to come. I know that I don't want to take more of your time, but basically what we want in this space, when we see a woman like you, we want to, you know, blow up your potential and even get you to explore more, so that you can do much more than you're doing. And we are glad with what you're doing. So want to ask God to take you further than where you are, and to wish your vendors, your people, your community well, and to hope that you can keep advancing and pushing for more of your rights from the government, and entitlements and benefits, and push government to work for you. Kakati Mole, you are a successful woman by all measure and rights, because the things you are doing, they challenge us. Some of us may not be able to do what you're doing, but you're doing what you're doing, and it is making impact to the lives of your people that you are leading, the vendors that you work with. I imagine that kind of life, there are rules that you follow. There are values that you follow. There are things that you do repeatedly ebikuyamba ng'omuntu okutambuza obulamu bwo. Kiki ky'okola okuba nti onyweza omusingi w'obulamu bwo. In English tukiyita values or your ethos of life, which keeps you going this far. It's for just inspiring another woman who could be in your situation, who is in a, you know, what they say, lower state of society, but is aspiring to be a big person and do good things, great things. Yeah.
First and foremost, I'm a God-fearing person.
Very important.
Yes. So in so being, every time I see someone in a bad situation or in a bad condition, I feel so bad, and I sympathize with that person. So it inspires me to make that person go through
have a better life.
Yes, to have a better life. So it moves with me because I suffered when I was still young. When I lost my parents, I was in a very, very, very bad condition. So I couldn't afford to get everything I could need. So when I see that person
going through a challenge,
yes, I get the flashback of where I started from. So that's why I struggle a lot for these people to be in a good condition. So I feel every time I see that person, I go in the shoes of that person. I ask myself, if it was me, what would I do? What would
if I was in their shoes?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what has made me to move and struggle so that those people achieve what they need.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I need people to be in
a better life.
Yes, because I suffered. I suffered. I could not manage to get Vaseline
to smear.
I could
with
not
having that nice hair you have right now.
Yes, I could. Even I never dreamed of getting them.
Yeah.
So that is in me. I need those people to be in a better life. So it inspires me to move on every day, struggling for them.
Wow.
To be better.
So you advocate for them, you work for them, you're a supporter, you're a great advocate. Yeah. And yes.
So it makes me to move every now and then. I used to foot because I stay in Katoke there.
Deep in Kawempe?
Deep in Kawempe. I could move from Katoke to town on foot.
Wow. Yeah, you can see the values of a leader: commitment,
yes,
resilience, hard work. Those are the values you're not mentioning, but your story talks of that. Focus. You are determined to make it big in life,
and I need to achieve those goals.
And you are serving others. You have a heart of a servant leader. An aggressive spirit in you, that wants to achieve, and that pushes you very far. That pushes you.
It doesn't allow me to sleep.
It doesn't allow you to rest, that is for sure. Yes. Any leader with those kind of attributes will not rest until they've achieved what they want in life and on behalf of other people. So thank you so much for being here. Unless you have something else, you can address the vendors. Maybe you have a message for the vendors, you have a message for your fellow women, you have any other woman who has been in your shoes and you want to encourage them, because being a vendor is a process. It's not the end of your life.
Yes.
A lot more is there. Yeah.
My message to the fellow vendors is that today is not the end of our life. We have to move on from streets. We need gazetted places, and we need to resettle because we've been struggling all the time. and we need to have a bright future for our children, our grandchildren. And I have a dream of having an arcade in Kampala.
Yes,
Yes, from
yes.
vending to an arcade.
It is
Yes.
possible.
So for the side of the government, we need our rights to be
Recognized.
yes. And those perpetrators of the violation of women's rights, they need to be worked upon. Yes.
Sensitized.
Yes.
Yes.
Let them sensitize those perpetrators and let them be engaged. They know that doing such and such a thing, I'm against the law. And how I wish if someone could manage to get a constitution so that that person goes through it. Let there be constitutions. I know the government can manage that, to constitute constitutions. If they put them on rough papers, if someone can go through and knows that this and this.
Or translated in their language.
Yes. So these people will not go against the law.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay, we have, I think, come to the end of the program, Molly. I know that what you have given us in this short time is a lot. You've given us a picture into what is going on with the market vendors, and more importantly, what you are doing to change society, to change the lives of those people that you are working with, how you are advocating for their rights, showing them the way, guidance, and all that. No wonder you were featured in the new vision of this week.
Yes.
And so want to commend you, want to thank you for coming and for sharing your story, and want to ask you to go far, to keep pushing and stretching further in your leadership journey. And we wish you well in that journey, hoping that one day you'll safely arrive also at the national legislature, having done everything else.
Yes.
Yeah, at the lower level. Thank you so much. And I want to thank the viewer. This is a typical example of women working at the lowest level, making a contribution to their community. It cannot be said less than this with such a life as this one. I know there are many women in our communities out there doing so much for their communities, doing so much, and would like to showcase their story and to ensure that more women are inspired and they can do more. That is possible, that you can be a leader. You can grow your life and journey from a vendor, to something else, and, and impact society along the way. So thank you so much for coming this far. I've been here with Molly, and hope to see you on one of our other programs right here on Civic Space TV. Shalom.